My name is Tebogo. I was raised in the streets of Everton back in the Val, and I started attending my first primary school in Lindisay Primary School. It is right in Everton. I did most of my academic years perfectly. My parents were also proud of me. I started off as a good boy, because I never thought I'd end up being here where I am. But then life is the way it is. So I attended a primary school in 2003 and then I continued and then until sharp or now attend that daily. I didn't struggle with the absenteeisms and stuff. I was never bullied and stuff because I'm a brave boy obviously up until now. So nentsekele motho a ratwang ke batho each and everywhere mo ke hlayang teng, there were this, there were that, ntse ke dlala bolo and then academic records tsa ka di right. And so I started meeting up with friends and stuff because I'm an extrovert. Ka kopana le majita and then that's where we started growing up. I push our life ya rona and then up until grade 7 still I wasn't smoking. I never thought I'd even smoke because ntse ke sa rate ho chilla le bo batho ba leng corrupt and stuff. And so it happened that if you play in high school and then I attended my high school in Mateke Secondary School. It is also based in the Val, Mo Everton, and it was the most corrupt school of all times. So Lega Momo Mateke and then I did my first grade 8 and then that's where corruption started back in high school. Okay, in grade 8 I was still doing fine. I passed all my terms well, I passed all my examinations and stuff. And then I actually started smoking after my matric because I completed my full 5 years in the secondary without even touching a smoke because I never thought I'd smoke anyway. And then I passed my grade 12 well with an honors and then I started applying for Val University of Technology. That's where I was doing my chemical engineering. And then I started meeting up with some guys also there. Then I was a guy who was also interested in girls. Yeah, I loved girls back then. Started dating and stuff because each and everywhere I got, I dated and stuff. So we were okay. Until I attended my first year in Val University of Technology, I got a sponsor because I'm good in drawing. I've got my sketches. Get at the cartoons, motivating. And so when I was busy with my sketches, some women came to me and then I introduced Samokona and told me that she's gonna help me with my talent of drawing, of course. And she told me that I'm gonna be based in London. And then I promised myself, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to London and go further with my talent. And so that's where the whole thing started. Because I'm gonna start living in London. So what's the use of being mobile in South Africa and stuff? I started becoming famous. Like corruption started there. Again, I got corrupt. I bunked classes. I said, get my majita, partying, alcohol, girls. Where there's girls, good time. It's good time. So they were panel majita and then one of them I drugs on him. Actually I started off by smoking marijuana. So marijuana was a good drug back then. Okay. Started with marijuana. I wasn't even smoking cigarette back in the days because I got sinuses and then I told myself that I'll never smoke cigarettes. And then yeah, we started smoking with the guys and the girls because you know how peer pressure is. How about I'm a dancer to a cheaty me and stuff. But then you tell you inside of your heart, telling yourself over time, but you never want to ever. Because it seems cool to do those things. Kara, bocheri and stuff. Abona ki banana, there's alcohol, there's sound. So kakibona le now, maybe this is where I should fit. And then they started passing me that marijuana joint, started smoking. So I got to an extent that I felt that it was so good to be high. Yeah, it felt so good from the start because Kimo o qala ho tsuba teng and then it all sharp hamonate o tlo feel okay. The world revolves around you, like you make people laugh, go bamnati and stuff. So I remember the time when Reketa who bankai this science class university, and then re le raya ka mo roomong ya bra wa rona A1 a fihla ga chilla le those girls, and then I started being addicted more marijuana, and then I couldn't sleep without smoking marijuana. I couldn't eat without smoking marijuana because it's a bit like a appetite and the nerves and stuff. So I lost my sleeping pattern there. So as time went on, into Gedala Bodo, obviously, and then one of my friends, one into Bapala skill bona, told me that, "Hey, man, I've got this other different drug that is going to boost your energy and stuff. So if you do by this kind of stuff, you're gonna be energetic. I don't feel like the exhaustions and stuff." And then start on board. Hey man, so what is it that you are wanting me to show? Okay, I remember this track, and then I started off smoking crystal meth in 2013. And then I shot my first pool, my second pool, right, man. The stuff, besides like feel good, feel energetic. Like you can spend the whole day without getting tired. Spend the whole night without sleeping up until early hours in the morning. So ka ke bona hore ai man like ina le yona ka re tlang je support. So le ka tswela pele ka nne ka tsuba le majita because whatever you want to be cool more varsity because there are also cool kids whatever you also want to fit in. And so ka ke chilla itsuba le majita, and then ka ke bona hore ai tjena e tlo nsenyetsa bophelo, e tlo nsenyetsa future. Because ne gym, gymnast, I was a weightlifter, and I was well built back in the days. That's why most of the girls wanted to date me and stuff. I was well built. Then there came the drugs. Started doing the drugs and stuff. Bit by bit, but not realizing that my body in the tail was slowly but surely. Okay, but then once you are in active addiction, how no bona the wrong things that you're doing? Kore, it's like you are wearing the word clubs. All you do osheba pele. How na other people's feelings. You don't consider your family feelings, your friends. Like you don't realize even when you are making unnecessary enemies. Because first things first, once you are in active addiction, you're gonna lose your sense of humor. You don't wanna have remorse for other people because ntho o inahanelang ke pelo ya hao, o nahanela pelo ya hao and your addiction le hore o e reacha jwang ha se ena hore o thole this thing to satisfy your addiction. So ka di-holidays as I was in university, I got home hona mo Everton, and then I ke le Everton most of the time ke rata ho dula ka tlung. Okay, back then ne ke dula ka tlung magriza a bona hore ya ngwana ka wa dula ka tlung, shebella di-movies, studies, he reads the books, dictionaries and stuff. So it ended up hore ke phela le majita, and then ke startile ka ho phela le majita a hotman ya ka because there's 3 of us at home and we are only the boys and I'm the last born. So ke ile ka skima bo braba hotman ya ka chilla le bona because now wherever I go I'd like to chill with people who are older than me because that's where I learn most of the things that are happening outside. So ke ile ka chilla le bona majita for a period of 8 years while they were busy smoking heroin, which is nyope, and I was busy smoking my marijuana because my chita obviously has now phone, no, it's now electricity and stuff. So I was the only one who had a phone. So normally I they would use my phone to download movies and stuff. So omolomong atwemo ana hustler thing, and then coming back to us, Hachila indoors with the guys. Manlemang otwere his bag of smoke, and then I've got my marijuana, I've got my phone, I've got a small speaker, I give you a speaker, I'll shebella the movie just to feel good because whatever if you primarily out in the indoors, especially how weather it goes, you know, when it's rainy or it's cloudy, you enjoy chilling indoors with your guys, getting high, getting drunk, chilling with the girls, watching movies and stuff. So this other day, one of my other friends at home actually came with that crystal meth again. I said, "Oh, yo man, like if by it in top like it's not gonna be easy to chill with them. Okay, I've spent more than 8 years digital bona, only smoking marijuana, bona but very heroin, crystal meth and drugs. So Hunter Gichitil Bonada, Abona Majita, Chap, what so I ended up got first two pool. My first two pool became another two pull. It became another two pull. It became a full joint. A full joint became a bag. A bag started wanting me to go to the snake man and purchase a bag for myself. So that's what I actually did. When you start smoking the drugs, got the two pulls, people would want to hear you go about automate or hey manana twara to ba sharp like they'd love you to smoke but never pass it the plants. But then the minute you start to be in that active addiction, you're also addicted. That's where things turn around. Into their china, they start turning their backs on you. So I usually obviously think when I'm shima, I've got a hustle for myself. I started realizing that no, whatever I'll chilling. And then back then I couldn't hustle most of the because I was too busy with my studies. If I study, a part-time job where I was working for a bottle store, a whole more ever. Like I got out my first job. Ke sebetsa ka di-case tsa jwala and stuff, and then le hona mo ke la ka ba ka in the field of alcohol. Damn, go like money ke phela teng ke dula ke thola substance. Each and everywhere I go, ke a bona o phela substance itseng ga go hlaga mona ke substance itseng. So I started drinking the hona thing because ke sebetsa ka jwala anyways. If jwala bone bo fihla o nona le some sort of di-case tse loreng ka hare di na le some di-bottles tse half tse ding di chatlele. So case eo e ne bitswa as a PIT. So PIT e ne bellwa ka side thing, and then nna ne ke sebetsa ke le mong on my fridge. So each and every time I get theohela ke a tseba okay, there's gonna be a PIT ka fridge ya ka mo ke sebetsang teng. So I started drinking there. I got addicted to alcohol. I started drinking too much to a point where my parents told me that time when I went out so now each and every weekend you're out, each and every weekend you're with your friends, you no longer have time for the family. Because actually in Tweke, born from from Katlu, because I was a good boy to my parents. Because I was the last born, the older one was Sanyeti Ududa Moai, and then I was left with the other one, Okim Shashaman. So Lena, he was attending in CDBM, but he was doing his mechanical engineering. And so Lena will start there, that's all now difference and stuff. So Kagila tell her the first steps thinking that is the right thing to do, whereas it's not, because I kept on growing up, realizing no, what's working. The total is they're not right, they're not worth it. Go ahead, you know to but then when I was or I know to I also isolated from all those things. So I was from friends and stuff. So yeah, more bottle store. I started drinking too much of alcohol, and then I mixed it up with crystal meth because I knew that crystal meth was actually giving me the energy, it was boosting my energy. So I couldn't get drunk like those persons who were getting too drunk. So yeah, ke ile ka phela le matjita o le mnate mo community ba ntshepa ba tseba hore this is an A student Tebogo o tswa mo varsity ha tshwane le bana ba bang ba locationeng. So I told myself okay, whatever, as a man, as a guy, you should never say never in life. Anything can happen to anybody else. So I never thought that even go to jail. So if you are in the active addiction, which I didn't totally learn how to realize which I didn't totally wrong. Sharpo, I got caught. My first crime was because I never used to smoking. So my first crime was shoplifting. Started doing shoplifting. I'm a shoplifter. First attempt, I sharp because I was clean and stuff. So I could be the person who does the shoplifting and stuff. So I took those chocolates and cheese, and then I went out because I couldn't hustle more mokas because I never got used to hustle, opening the kiwash or pekisa the transimo mall. But then I found myself doing those things at a later stage. My sense of humor. I was a monster back then. I started to be a monster. I started to be a bullfighter. I marked people with my friends. Sometimes in Chutana on Fridays that guys, today we're not hustling because the initiated and stuff. So later on, telling ourselves that I know re lo tshwara batho poo, and then wa tseba le wena o tlo dieleha cause once batho ba tswa ba lo tshwara poo and then ba kgutla ba o thola o ntso le ka hara room wena o le one you ain't got the smoke, bona ba kena ba na le tjhelete ba na le smoke sa bona ba tlo chilla batho be, so apparently never about to this. So you're gonna feel isolated from the guys. So I started telling myself that, you know what, let me go out with the guys then start to mark people, do some money for myself. So yeah, started changing bit by bit. Like even if you try or way better basketball now that you are using drugs, you lying to yourself. Basically, you're gonna show up, you're gonna get revealed, you're gonna get exposed, whether you like it or not. So they got exposed to household how I'm doing drugs and stuff, and that lady that I was telling you about, on a certain sponsor to go to London and continue with my drawings, she actually passed away, and so until later failed, I couldn't go to London and continue with my cartoons on TV. So I started feeling like God has abandoned me. There's no God in my life. And hence I was a spiritual person. I used to pray. I used to worship God with all my well-being. And so I start each and every night because I can only high anyway. I don't know worship demo. I couldn't even eat dinner with my family because it looked like later on 11, 12 o'clock, midnight sometimes. So it happened ke thola room kantle and then ka thola room kantle ka chilla on my outside room. Okay, so on my outside room, but next I had to make sure there's no one on Chakela because I like my peace, I like staying alone. After doing all those things, I do my self introspection, I chill alone, I get to think of things that I'm doing, things that I'm going to do, or the things that I've done. And then I've realized right now, man, you are tuning into a monster. This is not the devil I know. So I started hitting rock bottom. I smoked a lot. Crystal meth and crystal meth like it's okay down because you're flying high like an aeroplane, but then you're flying high too much, so you need something to down with it. So I started smoking nyaupe again, and I got deep into the addiction of nyaupe. I smoked heroin, got to nyaupe until the withdrawals and stuff. So far from me, each and every time I have to wake up early in the morning and go to hustle. Because if you don't hustle for yourself, no one else will do it for you. Because when you smoke heroin, there's no chance but to wake up early in the morning and go to hustle for yourself. Whether you like it or not, hating or hot, you got to go out of the house, hustle, so that you may get that feeling of this withdrawal, so I suppress or fats and stuff. So I lost my good friends. I lost the women that I loved because out of all the women that I dated, I did this other girl. I want to say her name. Her name is Busisiwe. She's also from Everton. Busisiwe Mahlangu. So she's the first woman I dated for a period of 5 years. So she was my soulmate. Like initially in we shared personalities, we shared everything. The auto Lena when she got a chance on the auto, so we started being an item appear for a long period of time, and then my parents also appreciated her, my brothers, like all of my family started appreciating her because she was a good woman. And then take part from another that I'm using drugs and stuff, so she never knew there was actually addicted to drugs, because you know when you smoke drugs you actually good in bed, you take time, only more better in the woman. So yeah. And then one evening she found my bottle of Mendrex, kamo teskinya kaya study guide attack. And then when I got home, I'm put out table really again. I'm just try home manipulator because that's what we good at, the active addict. Go to go manipulator. Because I'm a manipulator now. Because I'm a country, my mom because I was actually playing soccer. I told my mom, so yeah. Until Antwara, no, what's working is for the fourth time is a good one meaning you are using drugs there. And then kaki time you already come up with clean or like now yo babe. Yeah, it's like seriously I'm using drugs very. And then Hana Quinte as well. I say I started to lose our vocabulary because I was really associated with those people who are well educated, who are still going to school. You no longer communicate with Bachibabu and Schowa and stuff. So basically, vocabulary ya bale ya kamohano. I also know start out because one other thing, drugs did the cells, the brain cells, and you know once the brain cells are damaged, they never be repaired because the drugs did get a lot and stuff. So, but I tried by all means. So, what's again? Each and every time when I'm high, back crystal meth, I read my books or I draw. I draw the sketches and stuff. So, apparently, all of a point whereby I hit the rock bottom. Like each and every morning when I wake up, I could say that God, why are you waking me up? Like I didn't even want to wake up in the morning because I knew the struggle that I was going to face. So I told myself that no, what's again? No Sekinahana or commit suicide and stuff. I couldn't even tell my parents about it because whatever the black nation, our own families. I already discussed it. Like 90% of us already discussed it with our parents. We know what you face in life because sometimes we are so about to tell your mom or you are involved in drugs or so good and stuff. Because my dad was driving trucks away from home when I got the month, so I grew up until I was 26 years old ntse ke phela le mme wa ka but then ntate ha ntsa chase a tla hae a kgona ho sendela tjhelete like nna ntsa le supportive because yeah ntsa le supportive so Macrisa obviously ne re sa kgone ho bua le ena the way re ka kgonang ho bua ka teng when we talk to our dad. So when I feel a point whereby I told my mom, oh, Mom, what's again? Because I started stealing from Katlung, started stealing from myself. Can you imagine stealing from yourself? You worked hard, you hustled so hard, only to a point whereby you wanna start stealing for yourself. Then they can register most of my expensive clothes, most of my expensive gadgets, the phone, my PlayStations, like to extend to the because you know I don't wanna pause so while you are in active addiction. You won't see any mistakes, but you think for your cravings. So my mom gave me an advice that no, whatever you want, I actually want to take you to DSD in hookups working Oval. That I'm gonna look for a social worker for you who could maybe help you with your addiction, man. Because now it's getting too deep, it's getting too much. I no longer know you, sir. Like my mom used to tell me that them on a knocks out, say, like the way you link a thing, you no longer want to go back to school because I basically dropped out of varsity. And then I got to TSD, whereby I met this social worker, Maman Chabise. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Well, she probably left me by now. So I got to the DSD and then I managed to talk to Maman Chabise with also my brother in it because we were smoking up at the two of us at home, two boys in one house smoking. Like it was hurting our parents because but these are our two soldiers. They wanna build something, they wanna build the empires for themselves and have families for themselves. So yeah, really my brother more TSD because we felt already now it's time to stop doing this. Like we need to focus on what we were focused on. So career more TSD, we talked to Maman Tabisen, and then Maman Tabisen could see the potential in us that guys, you are well educated. Like the way you guys are communicating with me that the school. So what is it that you're doing with drugs? But then when out we wanna hey, you my old lady, you'll never understand the goodness in drugs. Okay, truth be told, drugs are good, man. Drugs are good, but then they destroy your life bit by bit, whilst you don't see. So come tell us my problems that I've hit the rock bottom. We had a session one on one. I told her about my life, my hustles, bad things that I did in life. I did bad things, yeah. And then she told me that, nah, don't worry, even if you did bad things, I'm gonna give you a chance to go to the rehab And then she told me that I'm gonna go to Heidelberg, and then she told my brother that he's going to be somewhere else because brothers cannot be in the same place in a rehab at the same time. So I said, yeah, it's fine. I'll go to Heidelberg because I felt that I need to go far away from home where I'm gonna get fresh air, different environment, different faces, different atmosphere. So I got to that's where I was introduced to Freedom Recovery Center, the FRC, my home that changed my life. So I came here in FRC back in 2021. That's where I've done my first program in December 2021 up until March 2022 in February. So yeah, I got to FRC, and then that's where I met most of my social workers out here. Ba ile ba nthusa ba potsa gore mana Tebogo, okay, wena o tswa mo kae ka o tlhalosetsa gore okay nna ke tswa mo Vaal ne. And then because FRC deals with most of the guys but tswang ka mo Vaal, though yona e le ko Heidelberg because they were under Citibank region. And then I found myself here in FRC. Ba ile ba re feletsa di-social worker e mana zokalang he letle more rehab and stuff. Then ke ka shapa my program. So firstly, ke na ka mo detox, and then ka mo loreng I've spent 7 days in detox, experiencing my withdrawals because first day when I came here I smoked. Told myself that nah, I'm not gonna get sick. Let me smoke, or I feel more knowing that I'm smoking for the last time. So yeah, I got in detox. I was high and stuff. So there came a night whereby motsuba o ile wa tswa mo mmeleng. So ke ile ka realize gore wa tseba keng, I shouldn't have smoked earlier on. So I started experiencing some withdrawals. Ke ile ka kula on my first day. I vomited, like my throat was sore, I had severe headaches, even my sinuses started to get like seriously, and ke ile ka experience most of the sicknesses ka mo detox. And then I've spent my 7 days in detox, can take a recover bit by bit. And then there came my 8th day whereby I got out of the detox. I started socializing with the guys here, and flabbergasting enough, I found people whom I know from Mortgage One Thing who were in active addiction. Because Nenzeki put all along. Where the hell are these guys? Abanyamete. So, I found them here in Rehab. And then we started knowing one another, sharing our problems, we socialize, no, what's about in time? More life and so and so and so. I started meeting some different people, started getting another social worker from the center, even my addiction counselors, those people who were going to help us with our addiction. This thing and stuff. And so my social worker back then was Mr. Les Dube, and my addiction counselor was Mrs. Joanna. So Joanna used to call me most of the time to come and have sessions with her. I got into her office. We used to communicate about my life. I told her things that I'm telling you guys right now, that where I started from, started being a good boy, playing soccer and stuff, being a bodybuilder, being the coolest guy like ever. So yeah, I'm sharing those things back then. And then Mr. Dube was also my social worker, was the one on farm moral or no guy was like him because he was well educated. He's actually a well educated guy. So Unankaza, he was like my mentor because he had houses in Manchester, like he could travel the world. So that's what I actually liked about him. And so it built a high self-esteem for me. So I started realizing, oh, no, what's working? Okay, sharp. Life doesn't revolve only around me. I should also consider other people's feelings and stuff. So I realized, okay, let me give it a chance. Okay, be patient enough and finish my program, because after 3 weeks of my program, I started experiencing mixed emotions. And then there came the thought of signing an RHT. When you sign an RHT, meaning you are going home, you are fed up with this place. So I had another addiction counselor who had to talk to me, advise me, oh, it's not a good decision to make that one. And that addiction counselor was Mr. Lebona Pinkwani, tribal himself. So he was the one only one to now stable man born okay sharp. There are gonna be fights because the machita fella kara the center and stuff whatever. You won't pass 2 weeks without having any fights come team. And so I started building into an thinking I should also always like stay calm because the minute that I came to this place I told myself that I'm leaving my trash behavior at the gate. I'm not gonna be the very same person whom I was back then. So I started being a calm person. Even though a person was shouting at me or using vulgar languages against me, I couldn't take them to consideration. Like next is Tracy, because I knew how I was. Then I was also a bullfighter. Like Yahona, we stand up there because I've got myself a backbone. But then I told myself for what I didn't come here to fight with other guys. I came here to finish my program and fix my life. So as time went on, Kileka Trialanda or Katwaila or Baparabolo because we were playing soccer, recreations and stuff to get fresh air. So yeah, have nothing right. And so my in fact I actually completed my program without getting a visit from my family because they couldn't get here for me. So that's actually one of the things that made me stronger. And then I decided to tell myself that you know what, I'm gonna start to build my recovery on a concrete foundation. So even today, I can still say thank you to Mama Taviseng, my first social worker, who is now in heaven. Maybe she sees that now that I'm still pushing for my recovery. So I started finishing off my first program here in FRC. And then I was too excited that I was going home. I couldn't think of extending my program to the halfway house because I told myself that I still got plans outside. Let me at least go outside and continue about my life outside. So immediately when I got back outside to the Val, I went straight to Mama Tebsing's office in Hotcop, the DSD, and then she actually referred me to this school based in small farms in Everton where we were doing some skills development. And then when I got there, I managed to make myself a certificate of aluminium fabrications. So I started falling in love with aluminium because they were doing windows, doors, and stuff. So we started off by forming a cooperation, which is we were 6 of us, and 3 of the guys I was with here, and the other 2 I found them outside because their program finished first before mine. So we got outside, and then we formed that co-op, and then we started making money. So we tutored the skills first, and we obtained our certificate, and then we started some clients. Clients, we started manufacturing and stuff. So we did the multi for the clients like Nerima Jeta because funny thing is that in the field of aluminium with the youth. So people were proud about that. We used to get the clients knowing that at least our youth is doing something. And then we started making money. And then after some quite time, get in the center because we spent 1 year. I've spent 1 year there. So after 6 months, we started telling ourselves, "So magic, no guys, we're thinking we are making a lot of cash here, né? So we should start by celebrating this." Like we started celebrating, telling ourselves that now, you know what? Last Saturday we're gonna chill with the guys, my colleagues. We'll chill, and then I go to booze, relax, back to that life again. Started thinking that okay, but now I'm a recovering addict, and then started drinking alcohol again because also alcohol is still cool. So really I started I celebrate one of my friends when he in the center. So there was this pub around Monterey push our skills development thing. So each and every Friday after hours of waking, we used to go there to chill and watch highlights. Sometimes we watch soccer. We gonna find people who are chilling there, and then relax and watch TV. And so it started to be an addiction again. But then I was not realizing that it's an addiction because I actually enjoyed every moment of drinking alcohol because you know how emotionally the vibe and stuff like. But you feel like each and everyone loves where you are. Like when I got what clever and stuff, and then and then and then time went on and on and on. Re develop a business e ya rona ile ya hola actually, and then it became so big. But there was a time where it was December time, 2022, December that thing, re spend the six of us shared slightly an amount of 5,000 each. Like each and every one of us got 5,000. So you know what I can advise you is that also money is a trigger again. It's a trigger for us who are experienced with drug use. Money is a trigger also. But you've got to tell yourself that once you get money, never think of those things that you used to do. So yeah, we shared our 5,000 and stuff, and then this other guy of mine, really ratswa hape really true. Again, really ratswa ra re inwella jwala, ba ba mnate. And then the thing that made me get deep into drinking alcohol is that I received the news from the DSD calling my parents to tell me that to come over to DSD. And then when I got there, they told me that unfortunately my social worker, Mama Tabisi, passed on. So it hurt me a lot. It hurt me a lot because she was always the one who was helping me, advising me, giving me referrals that take your CVs to this kind of a place, take your CVs somewhere. There's also a school where so and so and so on. And so I started losing hope again because most of our families don't understand us as we are recovering addicts. They do not understand us. Sometimes we are fragile. Like you shouldn't just treat us the way you want to treat us. But then we've got to remain strong because we know that the world doesn't revolve around us. You've got to be a strong person. And one thing about recovering addicts, we are strong people. Like we are stronger than normal people who haven't experienced the life of drugs. Because apparently an addiction is a lifetime disease. It's an actually disease that you're going to live with up until you are 6 feet under. So you have to nurture it. You've got to nurture it. It's like a baby. Recovery is like a baby. You need to feed her. You need to do everything for her. You need to hustle for her. So I've actually told myself that I've built my recovery on a concrete foundation. I'm not gonna be shaken off by wind. I'm not gonna fall again. And then realizing that my social worker passed on, I told myself that nah, she won't be coming to me no more to test me that I'm negative or maybe positive and stuff. So it gave me a chance to continue to drink alcohol excessively. So I spent December sharp modi tournament there about Parabolo. So I experienced a lot of things. And then one another thing that I did wrong after my program is going back to the very same group of friends that I was with before when I was doing drugs. Okay, for the first 6 months when I was outside, I was not associated with them. I started telling myself that nah, I'm gonna live alone, I'm gonna do things by myself. And then Gilega started schema this other guy. He was actually a cool guy also. His name is Tumemon Nakhota. He's actually a good guy, an IT guy. So Lena, I couldn't realize he also experienced an addiction because we were drinking codeine, lean. I was not drinking lean before. Yeah, so he taught me the plaque of drinking lean, get high and stuff. So then I started getting addicted again. I've lost my sleeping pattern, so I'm actually gonna need something to train my emotions and sleep and suppress the feelings of emotions about my social worker that has passed on. And so I've spent most of my time doing influence to my body. I couldn't go back to the gym. I was not gymming again. I couldn't play soccer anymore. I couldn't go back to school. But then I kept on running my aluminium business with the guys. But then we started separating as the guys. So each and every one of us, others went where they were going, others went to there where we were going. And then I started doing my own thing. I got to the DSD. They helped me to manufacture my business and stuff and register it into my name as a sole trader. And then I started registering my business and I started pushing alone. But then I looked for the guys who were actually going to help me. So in a little way, and create employment for other guys who are still mokasi ba struggling ho thola mosebetsi, because there's too much unemployment rate in mokasi. But then still drugs di kenwa each and every day. We could see already drugs di ba etsang batho, but then it never stops, but it keeps escalating. But by join each and every day, like let me say I'm the one who quits Nyaope today. Only one. I quit Nyaope today. But then the very same day it's gonna have 10 different people who are new into it. So you see the circle, like I don't know how it works, but then each and every new member, each and every day it grows. So it's up to us as a black nation, as a white, as a rainbow nation anyway, or whatever, we've got to focus on our life. And then again, I started realizing that nah man, it seems like I'm getting back to that life that I was living, because I actually earned the respect again at home. And then where I was living, my parents started trusting me. After I got out of the rehab, they started seeing me that I'm a changed person. I could keep myself busy, I could clean at home, I could do the laundries and stuff. I could help my mother cook, I could help my father clean his garage, do the gardening and stuff. So yeah, but then apparently as time goes on, Ojoa Moya never people so the identity out was saying doing your bed, like the way we were taught in rehab, that when you wake up in the morning, first things first, maybe you have to pray for the day, telling the Lord how to run your day. So, but then how so okay, you're gonna do them for first period of 3 months. Okay, speaking from my experience, I did them for a period of 6 months, but then afterwards, also try to pila kantle. Also in that isolated environment there of sobriety, where opelang the drug addicts who are far away from triggers. So there are too many triggers outside, people, places, and things. But then I was taught that I should never blame people, things, or the places, because it actually starts with you. It is your choice. You are the one who decides that. No, whatever again. If we tell you something, don't tell yourself that maybe my social worker has passed on. The world ends. I should go back to doing drugs and stuff. Because most of the people knew that already. You couldn't think that I'll be involved in doing drugs and stuff. But then here am I. And then later realized, oh, okay, social worker has said, I'm no longer gonna get help. It's only somewhere FRC. So I remembered I took a few of addiction counselors' numbers. So we used to communicate on WhatsApp. So sometimes me and my friend who were here, we would send pictures to Mr. Njebe, our lifeguard, that hey Baba Njebe could see us now, we're enjoying life, drinking alcohol, we could take the pictures with the girls who we were chilling with. Like we were showing him the way we were enjoying our sobriety life, but then using alcohol anyway. And we knew that alcohol is a primary drug. It also makes you to relapse. So after then, kileka alcohol, but then I started realizing life outside is like a jungle. Like you become a soldier who's going to the war. So you've got to carry your gun as your tools from rehab on how to avoid those things that are happening outside. You've got to man up for your actions. You've got to be the lion in the jungle. You should be the one who is hunting, not be the one who is being hunted. So yeah, I used my tools from rehab for the first day, because I actually spent 2 years clean. Yeah, I spent 2 years clean up until December last year, 2023, which is whereby I also got back to the DSD. I wanted to tell them that I want to come back to rehab, because I realized that living outside is a quite difficult world. But you've got to tell yourself that you're no longer using that. So you've got to focus on other stuff and be serious about your life. because ke hole mo re yang teng ka bophelo. I also want to go and finish my chemical engineering course. I want to also finish my cartoons on TV, maybe probably get a sponsor to make them appear on TV because it's actually one of the things that I like. So I got to DSD and then they told me that I'm gonna have to be on the waiting list. They're gonna take me next year on January or February. But then I told them that nah, I'm not gonna last for that period of time. So I managed to get Pastor Derek's numbers, the owner of FRC. So we communicated via WhatsApp, telling him that okay, I was enjoying the time of my life outside, but I need to come back to the center and push my life of sobriety because I knew that in FRC center there's no triggers like the way you face your triggers on the outside world. So I got a chance to actually phone one of the social workers here in Niger, and he actually told her to phone me and tell me that am I gonna be able to come to the center on the 1st of December. And then I told her, yeah, I am gonna be able to come to the 1st of December. And then I had to attend the court case that was pending from those previous robberies and stuff that I did. So I had to attend that case on the 29th of November. Yeah, and then the magistrate told me that I shouldn't go to rehab. I should finish this case of mine. But then I actually told myself, after paying that bail, I told myself that now, you know what? I've been in jail, yeah, so I've experienced the life in jail. Whereas I told myself that I'm not gonna be experienced with things from the jails and stuff. So I told myself that now, let me come to rehab, whether the magistrate told me not to come or what. I gave myself some braveness. I came on the 1st of December. Up until now, I pushed my program and stuff, telling myself that I'm still gonna get clean again. Still gonna get clean again. Until now, I'm still in FRC trying to push my life because I know one day I am gonna overcome. So I'd like to thank you for telling you guys my story. As you remember, my name is Tebogo from the Val. So get to experience this video and learn from it. Read it thoroughly and listen thoroughly to it. I'd like to thank you for that.